Joining us now is Cynthia Are with stories trending around the world. Hello, Cynthia.
Good morning, Dr. Bati. Good morning, Tundu.
Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning. This is a tradition.
A lowdown on something.
Okay.
Yesterday.
So I think I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure we'll sort it out. Yeah. Good morning to our viewers, and here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. Williams Ruto has officially been declared president of Kenya following his swearing-in ceremony, which took place at the Kasarani Stadium, Kenya. He was sworn in by Chief Judge Martha Koome on Tuesday at a ceremony held in the packed Moi International Sports Centre in Kasarani. In the United Kingdom, the Queen's coffin has arrived at Buckingham Palace to be greeted by members of the royal family. It will move on Wednesday to Westminster Hall, where the Queen will lie in state for 4 days. The Queen's daughter, the Princess Royal, has issued a statement saying she was fortunate to share the last 24 hours of her dearest mother's life. Hundreds of thousands of people are expected to file past the coffin to pay their respects, with a huge policing operation expected. Definitely worth mentioning that the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, was also present for William Ruto's inauguration and described that as a celebration of democracy and democratic institutions in Africa. But in other news, a 24-year-old lady, Anastasia Michael, has written an open letter to the daughter of Senator Ekweremadu, that's Sonia, offering to donate one of her kidneys to save her life. Now, this is coming after the 25-year-old Sonia Ekweremadu made an appeal to members of the public to donate a kidney to save her life. Responding to the appeal in a Facebook post on Monday, Anastasia said she was ready to offer one of her kidneys to Ekweremadu if none of her family members could do that, adding that it is to prove that women can help women. Anastasia also said she's donating it for free, praying that her kidney should match Sonia's. And she disclosed that she had already forwarded mail to the email address provided by Sonia in true fashion, the comments came pouring in regarding what was sent. Now, Johnson actually sent this out saying, God bless you as you have the opportunity to travel to UK, but he also said you want to trend, right? Then the next response to this was, God bless you as you have the opportunity to travel UK. That was from Johnson Onyekachi. The following response also came from someone called Sonia, and she says, my sister, you're looking for an opportunity to go outside country. Mark my words, you are going nowhere. We die here with Uncle Boo Boo. And the other response was, you really want to make name by force. Aguna 2022 didn't work out again, and now is this. Congratulations in advance. God bless your large heart. Now, Tundo, I'll come to you in a second, but truth be told, I did smell a rat, because if that was done in good faith, why did she feel the need to post it on Facebook if she's already sent mail to Sonia and generate all the buzz? But I stand in the middle in a way. Like, I see reason with the responses that she got, because it did look a bit like it was not from a sincere place. I don't know what your thoughts might be on this.
I thought those responses were hilarious. I think they're so funny. And I think, yes, it's cynical of them, even though they're joking, but it's perhaps also cynical of her, like you've just alluded to. If you're being fully altruistic, then the instruction was clear. There was an email address that was given. Send your email to that address without feeling the need to announce it. But I guess not everybody is of that school of thought of don't let your left hand know what your right hand is giving. Because you do have people who go and visit the less privileged and film it and post it on their social media. So I think this is just one of those people that thinks in that way. She maybe might want to inspire other people to come forward by announcing it, or might just be seeking to draw attention to herself. Only she knows her motives.
I think it's also a case of, I've already sent my my email, don't send yours because I want to be the one who's chosen. That's how it comes across. But, different strokes for different folks. I really appreciate your insight on that.
Before you leave this subject, just a comment, additional comment. One, that Anastasia Olama is a skit maker, an actress, a comedian, more or less. And I hope that this is not meant as a comedy, because this is a very serious matter. If she's volunteering, she should be volunteering from a position of sincerity. Because yesterday we discussed, the ladies' travails, and from a position of empathy, Ms. Ekweremadu truly needs help, considering what her family has gone through. Now, why have I raised the point about, Ms. Olama being a skit maker? You recall that when Kenneth Aguba, an actor, was given a house when he shouted for help that he was homeless by Pastor Chibuzo, this same Anastasia Olama came forward and said that she was ready to marry Kenneth Aguba. And people thought, was it the 3-bedroom apartment that Kenneth Aguba had been given by Pastor Chibuzo was the issue? Until Pastor Chibuzo himself said, if he is going to use the apartment to grab a woman, it will not be allowed. Okay, those are the details. But the more sobering part of this is that Anastasia Olama's family members, including her father, they've waded in to say she should not donate any kidney, that will amount to an attempt to commit suicide. So, many dimensions to it, but it also tells us how family members feel. She volunteered, but her family members are saying, don't try it. But she's an adult, of course. We hope that she's making this offer in good faith, and not that she thinks that this is an opportunity to make a skit out of another human being's life.
Very well said, Dr. Bate. And I also think it also would help, to make things tighter in terms of the process, where people who actually reach out to Sonia would be selected, to make sure that this is not an opportunity to exploit the opportunity to donate to her. Like Nigerians rightly pointed out, some people might just be seeking an opportunity to travel and might not really be coming from a place of sincerity. But it's definitely important what you just mentioned, and thank you so much. Now, in other news, Festus Keyamo, spokesman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Presidential Campaign Council, says Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, is planning a fake assassination. Keyamo said this in a statement issued on Monday in reaction to a viral video clip showing a message which claimed that Southwesterners were asked not to vote for him. Reacting to the development, Keyamo said a message that read to the Labour Party candidate was not authored by any APC group, and alleged that Obi is planning to hire supporters to wear APC-branded outfits to stage attacks on Labour Party offices. As a result, the hashtags Protect Peter Obi and Arrest Festus Keyamo are making rounds, or they were making rounds on Twitter. But Festus Keyamo didn't seem to mind. He even jumped in on the trend, saying the following: "The fake news below from one of the followers of the Labour Party candidate is a further confirmation of what we said, and we repeat that Mr. Peter Obi and his supporters plan a fake assassination attempt on himself. Now let me help you trend it very well. Hashtag arrest Festus Keyamo." Dr. Bati, this is the one I was actually saving for you, but thank you for weighing in on Sonia's story. I would really like your thoughts on this one.
Okay. Festus Keyamo saying that Mr. Peter Obi is playing the ethno-religious card. He also says that he's a desperate candidate who is likely to stage manage a fake assassination attempt by persons wearing fake APC uniforms. This is political season. You will get all kinds of allegations. Mr. Peter Obi himself showing someone, a message that he got saying that, look, people in the Southwest have been threatened not to vote for him. So you see on both sides, both are playing politics. Both are using every material to their own advantage. What we can just say, very briefly, is that, look, politicians seeking positions at whatever level in the 2023 electoral process should play their game within the bounds of decency. Right? They should act as sportsmen. They should not heat up the polity. They should concentrate on the issues that matter. Yes, we've seen violence here and there. We've seen Senator Ifeanyi Uba's convoy being attacked in Enugu Ukwu. So people can, in Njidoka local government in Anambra State, so politicians are likely to, raise alarm, but they should not raise such alarm that would necessarily denigrate the integrity of the other person or party, or that will heat up the polity, or that will be an auto-suggestion, for violence. That is very important, because from Dino Melaye and Femi Fani-Kayode engaging themselves at the level of skits against skits, comedy, abusing each other, to Festus Keyamo saying that Peter Obi wants to organize a fake assassination attempt. The more of that you get, the more you will have a situation whereby we will not even focus on the issues anymore. We'll be talking about the egos of ambitious persons who need to focus more on what they want to do for Nigerians and how they intend to solve problems. And as for all these surrogates, these hired mouths and hired pens, they should also conduct themselves in a manner as they try to spin anything out of control, out of proportion, that they do not sabotage the interests of their principals, who may not know any better, who may not even know that their own surrogates do not know any better.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abati. Now, in other news, a self-appointed Nigerian football coach, Emmanuel Igwebuike, has been found guilty of sexually abusing 7 teenage boys and has been sentenced to 15 years in prison in the United Kingdom. The 35-year-old was also handed a lifelong sexual harm prevention order and will also be on the sex offenders register for life. According to the Metropolitan Police, Igwebuike was at the time acting in a self-appointed role as a football coach in his own football academy based in the Stockwell and Putney areas of South London. Igwebuike, who was not affiliated with the English Football Association or any local football club, is reported to have committed the assault after he managed to build a trusting relationship with the boys with promises of furthering their football careers and providing them with football opportunities. Rufai, this is classic case of, grooming people who are young and have dreams. When I read this, it was very disturbing to see how far he went, with his own football club and everything, even though it was not official. But please share.
Which is quite sad. So I have to comment on this because I really wanted to comment on all the stories mentioned.
And you're free to do so.
Okay. This is quite a very sad case of grooming. And when parents of young boys like this hold you in public trusts to be able to help nurture the talent of their children, it's very sad that this happens to them. I'm happy that this has been picked out, and I'm happy that this will be investigated and it has to face the full wrath of the law, because those boys are damaged for life.
Indeed.
And it will take a long while. And we wonder why some men are struggling in their marriages. It goes back to things like this. And it is very pervasive in society, especially from a position of trust. I remember, the story that made the rounds about, even in the house of God among clergymen, and that damaging effect on those children, over the years. So I'm happy that this has been picked up, and for every other person out there, they should be picked up and they should face the full wrath of the law, because this is sad. Speaking of the social media story, I said I can comment on everything, yes, so I'll just do it real quickly. It's very sad. I pray that may we not see a situation so hard that we'll have to, beg on social media for help and people will laugh at us. I pray for that. Because obviously this skit maker, that was not necessary. Sonia is in a place of pain. Her parents trying to help her, but we saw what happened afterwards. They are not happy to be where they are. And this lady needs to survive. She needs our help. If you want to reach out to her, she's put an email address there. Reach out to her. Save a life if you can. Not go out there laughing about her issue, putting out there, getting some vainglory. Because this can happen to all of us.
Indeed.
There's no assurance written today that you will have your kidney for your lifetime, that I will have my kidney for my lifetime. But this is not the point to not have exchanges on social media. And I think this is the big problem with social media. And Tundu, you know what? It's a good job, Never come on social media.
Oh, trust me.
It's a good job you are doing. Because it is very sad that this is the kind of society we have built, that everybody thinks everything is all fun and games on social media. I mean, there's no sensitivity, no empathy at all. Somebody that is on dialysis 3 to 4 days. Do you know what it means for somebody to be on dialysis 3 to 4 days a week? And she's begging, crying for help. And the thing you can do is, I can jump on it, it's a trend. So everything is a trend. We've so much lost our humanity. We've become plastic human beings. Please, let us keep it calm. Let us not lose our humanity. If you can reach out to Sonia, please reach out to Sonia, help her. But also, as this story is making the rounds, I'd like to ask both of you, the lawyers in the House, hope this is not also going to violate the laws, because I know the UK has a quota system where there's a donor list that you get on. So getting somebody to volunteer, hope the UK government is not going to speak against it. Because I know she's done this out of desperation. I know if it's another country, you can bring people in. But hope the UK government is not going to speak against that, say there's a waiting list on ground, and you have to be part of that waiting list. So I don't know how that, legal part goes.
Well, she made a reference, this is Sonia Ekweremadu, in her statement to the fact that there are laws and you can't be trying to donate for any kind of pecuniary, interest there. It has to be voluntary. So I think she's aware of the situation. Okay. Yeah.
So if that's sorted, that's very good.
The flip side of that is that, look, in the UK system, where you say when you volunteer, there must be no compensation or remuneration. The system, under that code that you are referring to, has a system in place that when you donate an organ, the state itself looks after you. You are constantly checked. You are supported by the state. There is, a backup system that makes sure that you do not necessarily put yourself to risk because you have tried to be a volunteer, to be philanthropic with even your own system. The difference is that here in Nigeria, we don't have such a system in place. If you donate, you have just donated, you are on your own. And maybe that's why, Miss Olama's family is saying, the father, in fact, she quoted her father saying, her father is saying, do you want to go and kill yourself to go and donate? So it's different system. We have a system where anything goes. We have a system where there is order. But clearly, what is important first is to save life. And to see that we still have some good Samaritans in our community in whom the milk of human kindness still flows and who are ready to protect, help the other person that is in distress.
Well, I'm sorry, I have to say that's ignorance on his part, and there needs to be a lot more advocacy. Donating an organ is not a death sentence. Obviously, he's a protective dad, so he would say that, but I just also need to stress that.
That was what
we need to encourage
people
in our society not to view it in that way.
Yeah.
So the part of Keyamo and all of that, that's political shenanigans. But like Dr. Bati did say, let's not inflame tensions. And you expect more for someone like Festus Keyamo. He's still a serving minister, the last time I checked. If you are saying things like this, there are the authorities we can report them to. Let's be careful. But this should not distract us from the issues. And please, I'll say the issues in 1 minute. What are the issues? Bad economy and everything, blah, 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 insecurity. Good. But real quickly, just today in the national newspaper, it is said that first-time collectors of Nigerian passports have increased from over 700,000 to over 1 million. Secondly, it was said that over 13,000 Nigerians in this little cycle from the healthcare system are going to the UK to seek better jobs. There's a mass exodus happening out of Nigeria. To balance the argument, I know it doesn't outweigh our birth record, which is about 5 million we're having to population every year. But the normal net migration number of over 60,000, I'm sure if they review that number, has increased in 2 or 3 folds. That's to show you that there are pertinent problems on ground. And guess what? It is the skilled mass of your economy, our economy, that is leaving the country. I think those are issues that politicians should argue about more, rather than all this back and forth. Sorry for taking your
I
time.
want to talk about the footballers and the aspirations that they had before that was so cruelly abused, and disagree with you slightly, Rufai. I don't think anyone or anything can ruin a life. There's always room for redemption, and they're survivors of sexual assault and any other kind of assault. They're not perpetual victims.
Tundu, not every heart mends.
Every heart can mend.
Okay.
We must not condemn people as ruined and their lives as ruined because of the actions of some sicko who hopefully will die in jail. Who is he to ruin anybody's life?
That's a valid point.
Who is 100 of him to ruin anybody's life? No.
That's a valid
Their lives
point.
are not ruined. Obviously, we try and prevent these things from happening to our children. That is why some people get called all kinds of things, helicopter parent and worse, because they try to protect their children. Even though there is redemption that's possible, you do want to avoid these things. And how do you avoid them? Really, at some point, you must trust other people. And you have no idea who's worthy of that trust or not. We're always taking a gamble every single day as parents.
Indeed.
So my heart really goes out to the parents and to the teenage boys that had to go through this, and the way that, you know, their lives have been changed by it, but not ruined.
Very well said. I do agree with you on that no one's a write-off as far as they get the right support that
Absolutely.
they need, which is one of the reasons why the Met Police also mentioned that other boys who might have also been victims of this individual should come forward, probably so that he can do even more time and they can get the support that they need. So once there's that support, it's definitely possible to start afresh. I'm with
100%.
you. I'm with you on that one. And thank you all for your contributions. That's all I have for you on What's Trending.
That's all? I thought you would take one more story.
I would have loved to, but I'll save that one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Of course.